Right, now we've finished, well, we haven't finished the cockpit area, but it is a good time now to move on to the front end of the car. Luckily with this car, the uprights, they need some modification, but they are modifiable because they have lots of bolt-on parts. Let me show you. This is the front left-hand upright. The caliper's on this side. All you can see there is the caliper and a disc, but if I show you the inside area, we've got this bolt-on piece for the lower ball joint. It's not big enough in my opinion, so that's going to be changed out for something bigger, probably more like a 1/2 inch. This is only about 10 mil. It's also fully threaded the whole way through, and it's got these bolt-on bits here. So this is the connection for the upper wishbone. This is the connection for the lower wishbone. It doesn't go through the middle. There's some offset here, but the caster angle is, and I'm going to have to check my notes. Yeah, it's about a 9-degree caster angle and a kingpin inclination of about 6.75 degrees, 7 degrees. KPI 7 degrees is actually okay. A caster angle of 9 is quite a lot. What's interesting, although this has a 9-degree caster angle on here, the actual caster angle measured on the wishbones was much less at about 6.5. So this would have been sort of offset like that a little bit, if you like. And there's no ability to adjust the caster angle on the wishbones either. Also, the rack was facing towards the front of the car. So here is the connection for the steering arm. Okay, so ideally I'm going to aim for a caster angle of 5 degrees and a kingpin inclination of 7 degrees, which is not too far off. But what I want to do is actually move the steering arms and the whole rack the other side of the car. Okay, the reason for doing that is actually making it easier to route the steering column. Otherwise the steering column has to route its way through wishbones and parts of chassis to actually access the front of the car to get to the end of the steering arms on the upright. So bringing it this side, especially where these are in line, is going to make it a lot easier to place a steering rack on the car and get it in the location we want. So this effectively is going to be swapped around. So what I'm actually going to do, this is the front left unit. I'm actually going to make this the front right unit. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to make some laser cut bits. So in effect, this will be the upper connection. This will be the lower connection. And this will be the steering arm here. So I'm going to make some laser cut bits, weld them together, bottom on the top and bottom on the bottom. And that should give us the geometry we want. And again, if we don't like the geometry, we can always change it at a later date.
Hi, it's Future Alex here. I've just realised I've not done a great job of explaining myself. I'm going to swap the uprights round, so the left upright is now the right upright. The steering connection and the upper wishbone connection and lower wishbone connection, they're all going to stay in roughly the same place. They're going to be moved around with the different bits I'm going to add that are going to change the geometry. But yeah, it's going to be swapped around so the steering rack is towards the back of the car rather than towards the front. That's it.
Let me just show you what a bare unit looks like. So yeah, with the brake caliper removed and all the bolt-on bits removed, this is really what we're working with. So it's not so bad. I've actually got some laser cut bits that I've already had done. So for example, this is going to go onto, well, the brake caliper will be on the inside now, but this will go basically onto here. You can see there's the upper wishbone joint and the steering arm joint here. So that's basically going to essentially bolt on there, and we'll have a bolt-on one on the bottom. So I'm going to start putting these together, welding them up, and then we'll test fit hopefully later on tonight to this upright, and hopefully we'll have a nice new shiny piece that we can move forward with the car on. It's nice, right? And that's come up pretty well. Top of the left hand upright. Okay, I've just tacked together the bottom ball joint. That's not a fully welded piece, but what I'm going to do, that's the upper piece that goes there. I'm a bit concerned that it's not going to fit in the wheel well, because this is quite a big upright and it does pretty much fill the whole space. So I'm just going to pop the wheel together and all the bits I need to, put that together, and I'm going to give it a test fit in one of the wheels just to make sure I'm okay. Otherwise there's going to be a bit more work and finagling to make all this fit correctly. Well, you can see that's the fully completed upper section of this upright, and that's the lower one, and I've just popped it in just to make sure it fits, because I was worried that it wouldn't, because it is very tight there and it's even tighter up there, but actually the bits that I've made are completely clear in the wheel, even if we push it in. But yeah, we're golden, we're good. Right, so I've welded these bits up now, look, and that's what it looks like mounted on the upright. You can see I've got my nice kingpin inclination and caster angle there as well. So, gonna see if I can get some proper 1/2 inch AM bolts. To be honest, this is probably good enough quality because it's big enough, and the cost of the AM bolt is going to be quite high, but we'll see what the cost is. If not, we'll just go with this one. We'll get some proper AM bolts up here because they won't be too expensive. 3/8, this being 1/2 inch. I want to get some AM bolts as well for the wishbones when I come to do them. They're 1/2 inch as well. But again, I might just go with these just for price reasons and practicality reasons. I'm just concerned that I'm going to want to have this really long 1/2 inch bolt, and it's going to be like 40 quid each or something. But we'll make a judgment when we look at the prices and order them in.